Samsung might be ready to give us its Galaxy S26 series in a more reasonable price tag, but that's actually not for all models. Google just surprised us with one of the coolest ways to use AI, though actually on your Chrome browser. New reports have the OnePlus 16 with an insane list of specs and even some competitor hardware. Samsung has already begun to tease what to expect for 2026, and it's a lot. And yes, Apple just had its best quarter ever when it came to sales, but according to Tim Cook, they're just warming up. I'm Jaime Rivera, and it's that time again for another 5 interesting topics. This is Tech Briefing powered by MediaTek. The official news today begin with Google, as they have just surprised us with yet another genius way to use AI. The company has unveiled Auto Browse, a new agentic feature which is pretty much designed to handle multi-step tasks for you directly inside the Chrome browser. I actually had a pretty interesting interview with the Chrome team to discuss precisely why this makes so much sense.
Our high-level goal is that we are really focused on making the browser lots of people know and love smarter and really reimagining it in this AI era. It is built with agentic technology and AI, but I see it as helping people get more of the digital laundry and manual parts of browsing done on your behalf.
So think of this as an assistant that can take over the mundane tasks for you while you focus on other things. It supports complex workflows like shopping with a budget, finding and applying discount codes from anywhere on the internet, filling out forms, scheduling appointments, managing your subscriptions, and obviously it continues to learn new use cases. Available on desktop, Auto Browse is triggered by describing a task to Gemini in Chrome, after which it can scroll pages, click buttons, and enter text on your behalf. These actions run locally on your device with support from a cloud-based model. When active, Chrome opens a dedicated tab with a visual indicator, while a redesigned Gemini side panel shows each step in real time. It can even securely use Google Password Manager with your approval to take care of that part of the workload, though I know this draws some concerns on purchases or social media posts, but which Google has solved by prompting you for manual confirmation on sensitive use cases like these.
We've been on this journey for a while. I love Chrome autofill. I see Auto Browse as a continuation of that journey. It can do a lot more complex tasks, save you some of that copying and pasting and opening a bunch of tabs to ultimately help you get things done faster.
The feature is rolling out today in the United States to AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers, with daily limits on agentic actions. I'm curious to know what you think about this feature in the comments, because I think it's genius. Now let's switch to OnePlus, because it's so funny that the source that had written an article about their possible demise is now making up for it with a full leak of specs, and if we're honest, this source was pretty reliable about them before. So we're expecting the OnePlus 16 until around Q4 2026, and yeah, we're also unsure about US timing. Regardless, these specifications are hard to ignore. First of all, we hear of a 1.5K BOE X5 OLED display, which runs at an insane 240Hz refresh rate, and we already know those 10-bit colors are gonna be in tow, as the company has been doing it for a bit. Thing is, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We hear of the obvious Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6, assuming the naming scheme continues, but then we're also talking about LPDDR6 RAM, which barely got finalized as a spec at the end of last year, and all match with UFS 4.1 storage. We then get what I'd call as a second confirmation of that 9,000 mAh battery, which will also be complemented by 120-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless. Heck, even those rumors of a 200-megapixel main sensor, which I thought would most likely not happen, have also found another source. Thing is, it seems that instead of the old Samsung ISOCELL HP2, this might be a newer HP5, which barely got announced at the end of last year. Obviously, if the company can manage an aggressive price for all that, I'm down, as the camera on the 15 was good, not great. I'm curious to know what you think about this in the comments. And since we already started talking about Samsung, let's switch to some of the future projects the company has lined up, which it sort of teased. During the company's Q4 2025 earnings call, Samsung hinted to several major products planned for 2026, with a strong focus on AR glasses and next-generation foldables. While the company reported a solid Q4 performance with year-over-year growth, much of the attention centered on what lies ahead. ahead. Samsung's head of mobile marketing briefly confirmed that the company is preparing next-generation AR glasses designed to deliver immersive, multimodal AI experiences across new form factors. Samsung first teased its XR ambitions last October alongside the Galaxy XR headset, and while the initial glasses are expected to ship without a display, recent developments around Android XR-powered smart glasses suggest that the company may already be planning display-equipped models. Samsung also reaffirmed its confidence in the upcoming Galaxy S26 lineup, we're going to be talking about soon, promising a strong launch to support early 2026 mobile sales. However, the foldable category appears to be a key growth driver. Executives highlighted continued form factor innovation, including the trifold announced in the late 2025, and confirmed that additional foldables with improved competitiveness are planned for the second half of 2026, and that's the key word, competitiveness, which, yes, sounds like the new Galaxy Wide Fold we've discussed and where competitiveness really means being ready for the iPhone Fold. Heck, I even hear Chinese companies are wanting to make a drift back to that. Whether it's the glasses, the Galaxy S26, or the Wide Fold, I'm curious to know which one are you looking for most in the comments. And now, speaking of Apple, let's talk about its sales performance, which is something I don't usually report on unless it's this good, and also because of what was teased. The company has reported its earnings for the fourth quarter of 2025, and, well, they delivered record-breaking revenue in ways I'm not even sure the company was even prepared for. I mean, sure, $143.8 billion in total numbers was good, with a 16% year-over-year increase. Thing is, the major driver behind this performance was the iPhone. It generated an insane $85.2 billion in revenue, which is the highest in the product's history. For a bit of context, that figure represents a 23% increase compared to the same period last year. CEO Tim Cook described iPhone demand as simply staggering, noting that the device achieved all-time sales records across every geographic region. Sadly, though, we don't know which one is the bestseller, as Apple never really discloses this. Now, where things got even more interesting is in what the company teased right after. Tim Cook talked about an ambitious future, promising quote-unquote innovations that have never been seen before. This alone is a bold statement, because we know Apple is mostly a products company, and which would mean we might get new devices and not just services. Rumors so far have hinted to an iPhone Fold, which is not what I'd call as a new product category, but still new to Apple. We've also heard of the company's possible HomePad, which is its HomePod married with an iPad display. Lastly is its possible jump into smart glasses, though again, all speculation. If 2026 is going to be better than 2025, I'm already crazy curious, and would love to know what you predict in the comments. Now, before we get to the hottest news, let me tell you about today's sponsor, MediaTek. The Moto Edge is the company's latest premium flagship, matched with great looks and amazing feel in the hand thanks to its premium materials, and also Motorola's latest collaboration with MediaTek on its Dimensity 7400 Ultra. Its 4nm architecture enables powerful experiences like great color reproduction on this 6.7-inch curved display. It's capable of all the cool improvements in Moto AI. Its chip efficiency allows for all the endurance you need with 2-day battery life, and we have an ISP that delivers great photography from its triple camera system. It's the reason Motorola continues to choose MediaTek year over year. Thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. And finally, for the hottest news today, grab some popcorn. Let's talk about Samsung once again, though this time what to expect for its Galaxy Unpacked. And guys, we had at least 6 headlines on the topic alone today, so I'm going to try to condense it into what you should care about. First of all, the company appears set to unveil the Galaxy S26 series at its Galaxy Unpacked event scheduled for February 25th, 2026, according to a leaked invite shared by Evan Blass, so set your calendars. Now, as for what to expect, multiple rumors hint to what you had heard of with the Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra. Though a new twist that had been near forgotten is that we might also get the Galaxy Buds 4 as well. And when it comes to the phones, leaks suggest modest design changes, including a refreshed camera island, maybe due to that ISOCELL HP5 sensor that was announced late last year, while core specifications remain kind of familiar. The Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus are rumored rumored to feature a 6.3-inch and 6.7-inch displays respectively, updated batteries, and either a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 or an Exynos 2600 chip depending on regions. The Galaxy S26 Ultra stands out with a slightly thinner body, a 6.9-inch display, and yes, Snapdragon-only processing. All models are expected to ship with a One UI 8.5, satellite connectivity for emergency use, and upgraded wireless charging. Now, pricing, however, may be the most surprising shift. Reports suggest that Samsung will raise the prices on the Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus, largely due to the rising RAM costs driven by AI demand, but the Galaxy S26 Ultra could actually become cheaper. European leaks point to a €100 increase for the base and Plus models, partly offset by Samsung dropping lower storage variants in favor of a 256 gig baseline. Now, sadly, we don't know the exact number for the Ultra, but if it were to drop by just $100, that would be a huge deal. Seriously, it's almost as if Samsung wants to figure out how to make the Ultra even more enticing and not the base models. In today's question, let me know. Would you prefer a less expensive Galaxy S26 Ultra? Because in my case, of course, I think it's needed, especially if the design isn't really changing much. I'm curious to know what you would like to see and what price tag you would want in the comments. Friends, again, thank you so much for joining on this new episode of Tech Briefing. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments as I try to respond to as many as I can. Also, follow me on social media as more behind-the-scenes work continues to happen there. Guys, believe it or not, I still have more CES Reels coming up. Crazy how this show turned out to be great, but we're already gearing up to what's next. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.